Want to get my client's words wrong, so kind of jotted down. I spoke with her today, so I'll be looking down so I can just make sure that the words that she said, comes out correctly. But so how do we start or
Okay,
what?
everybody's ready? Okay, so we're gonna start with your name and title, Marco, and then what time you talk to your client, and then you're just gonna start reading her words.
Okay, you ready? Okay. Thank you, everybody, for coming on out. My name is Marco Gonzalez. We represent our client, Sarah Olson, in family law proceedings, here in Harris County. And so got a chance to speak with my client, Sarah, maybe a couple of hours ago at around 5 o'clock this afternoon. And so these, I jotted down some things that she wanted me to say on her behalf. So first of all, she really wants to make sure that her utmost priority is to make sure that justice is done for her baby Samuel. Okay, and she also doesn't want people to forget, his name. Obviously, there's a tragedy that's happened, and she's hurting very deeply, right now. And right now, she just wants to see her baby. She has not, seen the baby as of yet, so there hasn't been any identification, done by, my client Sarah, on Samuel as of yet. She's with her family, and she's waiting for any detectives, to give her a call so she can do the identification process. So right now, she doesn't want to speak with anybody in the media until she sees, this child first because obviously there's still a glimmer of hope that because it hasn't been 100% identified, that there's a glimmer, small, albeit small, trying to be realistic, as well, but that it might not be, Samuel. So since she hasn't had a chance to identify, the child yet, so she doesn't, she's still coping and trying to get all this information and process it, her way right now until, she feels that she can gather the strength in order to speak with y'all. Now, also, she feels she's glad, that the girlfriend Teresa is in custody, because she feels that, obviously she played a part in it, especially with, the set of facts that were coming out, or the stories, that were made up a few days ago as to this made up officer. And we all know that that is what's going on, that Teresa is in custody. But she also strongly believes that Dalton, the child's father, should also be in custody, because she feels that 100% that they both, have something to do, with this, so she's hoping, and praying that he also will be taken into custody, so that justice can be done for Samuel. Uh, and to reiterate what I just said, that she feels that if Samuel is deceased, as this is her child after the identification process, that she feels 100% of the blame is on both, Dalton, and Teresa in this situation. And she just wants to see her baby, and she knows people want to hear from her, but then obviously, she is not ready now, and she might need another day or two or so, and before she can be able to speak to people. And she just wants everybody to know that, she's completely heartbroken, and she, even though the identification process hasn't been done, that she feels that that a boy that was found in Jasper is her son, Samuel. But it's not, 100%, because she hasn't put her eyes on the body yet. She hasn't gotten a call from the detectives in order to make that happen. And she just wants everybody to please keep her son Samuel in their prayers. So those are her words that she wanted me to relay. So, and at that time, and I guess, that's it for right now. And like I said, what she said was, as soon as she's able to be with her child and be able to do the identification process, then hopefully she'll be able to, have the strength, have the courage in order to come out and talk with y'all herself.
Did she say why she thought Dalton was involved?
I'm sorry.
Did she go into any detail why she suspected that Dalton could be involved too?
I mean, from the fact that the child last time was seen on April the 30th, an entire month, and then this concocted story about this fake officer just 1 week ago. I mean, it just doesn't add up. And if he's this Samuel's been in Dalton's possession, since April 30th, then and for him not to say anything or do anything, then obviously it seems like it was both of them orchestrating something.
Is she heading to Jasper or something?
No, she's not, because she's waiting for the phone call from detectives in order to do the identification process. So she said that nobody has asked her to go to Jasper, or so that right now there's really, I guess, no need for her to go to Jasper right now until she's asked the detectives, ask her, to go. So she's taking calls from the detectives. She's not really taking calls from anybody else. She's taking calls from us, but that's it. She's trying to work with the investigators and the detectives, and she's taking our calls, because she wants her voice to go through us right now.
To your knowledge, Dalton is not in custody, correct?
To my knowledge, no. But that's something that she feels should happen.
Can you kind of explain what she was talking about when she was referring to Tanya, the grandmother, Dalton's mother? She doesn't think that she was involved?
What she said is like she feels that this is on Dalton and Teresa. That so she doesn't want to. Her feelings are that the paternal grandmother, right now, she doesn't feel that she's involved. But I mean, when the facts come out, through the investigation and everything, maybe that changes. But in her heart of hearts, she feels that it's on just those two.
Dalton's family has come out, very publicly about the fact that they had no idea about this. Did she react to those statements at all? Did she have any contact with Dalton or his family?
No, but I mean, she obviously, reacted to the thought of, the story about that she went with some unknown person dressed up as a police officer in order to obtain custody from Teresa. I mean, she couldn't believe that story. She was just, I mean, it was outrageous. I mean, it should be outrageous to, everybody. I mean, like when I first saw it on the news, when Teresa said that, I mean, just looking at it, you could tell she was she was lying. And even, I mean, when I first saw it, with some of my colleagues, here yesterday morning, I was like, okay, he's lying. You can tell he's lying, because this is our profession. I mean, we deal with all kinds of cases in different areas of law here, and as lawyers, we got to try to, depict if somebody's telling the truth or lying, and and that's how our next line of questioning is going to go. And if we can, feel that we're going to pin somebody down, on the witness stand, in front of a court proceeding. So I mean, just looking at the way his demeanor and his tone, and looking off, to the left from me, I was like, this guy's lying. And as soon as she started speaking, that showing no emotions, when she was saying, I was like, she's lying too. I mean, they're up to something, And what's crazy is that was yesterday morning, and then at the night, all of a sudden, the child is found in Jasper, and her mugshot has been placed everywhere. So, man, it's a rough situation. And even when I spoke with a client, Miss Olson, I mean, it was tough to even get these words out, from her. So obviously she needs more time, like any of us would need more time if we were faced and put in her shoes.
Did you say it was April the 30th, the last time that Sarah saw Samuel?
No, it was April 30th was the last time, in the school.
When was the last time Sarah saw him?
The last time Sarah, like I think I said this morning or said yesterday, it was like summertime last year. And it's just, been a nightmare, for her this past year.
What has it been like for you all trying to nail down the facts?
I mean, probably as hard as the police investigators, the times that they have with every investigation they're going through to try to nail down the facts. Because when people are slick and sly and trying to get away with things, they're going to come up and, they're going to come up with, all kinds of stories and all kinds of, things to try to throw investigators or throw the media or throw any reasonable person off of their scent. And so it must be it's tough for investigators, it's tough for lawyers to get to the bottom of things, because when people come to us, we had nothing to do with what happened in their lives before they walked in, and then now obviously there's also two sides to every story. We get our client side, on things, and then we got to go find out more facts as well too, because even, people have different interpretations of different things that they go through or different things they hear or see, so I mean it's tough getting the facts on anything in any line of business, is tough. So, I mean, obviously finding out the facts as us, as lawyers, is tough as well too.
On Monday, the police kept calling it a complicated case. I take it you would agree with that it's a complicated case.
Yeah, when lies, are being thrown out there, when unbelievable stories are being, thrown out there, it complicates, everything. I mean, it's not like an easy, CSI, type of television investigation where, you can find DNA here, or you can find some fingerprints, there, and be able to, solve things. I mean, we live in the real world, and it's not a TV show. And this type of case, dealing with these type of emotions and dealing with, the court system, dealing with, people trying to avoid different things and lies, this, throughout that we feel for the last, year, on that other side is, complicates, everything.
Do you know if Sarah had any negative interaction with Teresa Balboa in the past, or, had any, really negative feelings about this?
No, I didn't go over that with her. I don't think that they had much communication at all,
Do you know how Sarah found out, or where she was and who she was with by any chance?
when she found out.
Last night, when she found out about the Jasper development.
She was with her family. Yeah, and I mean, couldn't imagine a phone call like that.
The relationship between your client and the father, if they haven't been together, I guess, in a year, Samuel was gone from his mom for a year. I mean, was there like bad blood between them?
I mean, they were married in like 2015, and but they ceased to live together in 2017. So they've been, they didn't go through the divorce proceedings till 2019, but they were living separately since 2017. So, I guess, when people are together and they start, to go on separate paths, then they start meeting other people, but then obviously, the paperwork, eventually ends up getting filed, so the divorce proceedings can get finalized.
Did they share custody?
I think it was joint managing conservatorship, but she was a primary. Anything else?
No, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're gonna do it in Spanish.
Can we just step out real quick before we do that? I'm sorry. Is this yours, Raymond? I won't take it if it's somebody else's. Thank you so much.
I can't get that way anyway, so, go ahead.
Okay. Buenas noches, mi nombre es Joana Anaya. Soy una de las abogadas del grupo de familia, aquí con el grupo de abogados González. Y nosotros estuvimos representando a la señora Sarah Olson.
¿Estuvimos o están?
Estamos.
¿Me puedes deletrear tu nombre?
Sí, Joana, y mi apellido es Anaya, Anaya. Voy a proporcionarles unas palabras que la señora Sarah Olson nos ha pedido que compartamos con ustedes esta noche. Hoy la señora Olson se comunicó con el abogado Marco González por vía telefónica a las 4:45 de la tarde. Y esto es lo que ella ha pedido que nosotros les comuniquemos a ustedes. Todo lo que quiero es justicia para Samuel, mi bebé. No quiero que la gente olvide el nombre de Samuel. Después de ver a mi hijo, haré todo lo posible para hablar con los medios de comunicación. Todo lo que quiero ahora es ver a mi hijo. He estado con mi familia todo este tiempo y no he estado en Jasper, Texas. Aún no he recibido una llamada para identificar el cuerpo que se cree ser el de mi hijo. Dalton, el padre de mi hijo, debería estar bajo custodia de las autoridades. Estoy segura que Dalton lo sabía todo. No hay forma de que no supiera nada. Lo sabía todo. Estoy muy molesta por toda la situación y la policía debería tener a Dalton en custodia, si es que ya no lo está. Si Samuel ha fallecido, su muerte está en Teresa y Dalton. No creo que Tania, la abuela de mi hijo, tenga algo que ver con eso, pero no voy a comentar sobre Tania. Solo quiero ver a mi bebé. Por favor, todos deben saber que no lo he visto a mi bebé. Por favor, háganle saber al mundo que tengo el corazón roto porque creo que ese cuerpo es el de mi bebé. Y ella nos ha pedido nuevamente que les comuniquemos a ustedes que ella está destrozada y en cuanto ella se sienta capaz de poder compartir sus sentimientos y unas palabras, ella lo va a hacer y claro, también se va a esperar hasta que le den la oportunidad de confirmar si es en efecto el cuerpo de su hijo.
¿Por qué crees que Dalton está involucrado? Entendemos que es el padre y que la persona que está detenida era la pareja de él, pero ¿ella les comentó algo específico por el cual entiende que está involucrado?
No no ha entrado en detalles, solamente que pues se supone que como cualquier otra persona, si estás permitiendo a tu hijo que conviva y viva con otra persona es porque ese padre está a gusto o consciente de que está exponiendo a cierta persona y a su hijo juntos.
¿Teresa y el papá del niño viven aquí en Houston?
No estoy segura de la dirección exacta donde ellos vivían, porque nuestra clienta nunca obtuvo exactamente la dirección de donde el papá de Samuel vivía con él.
De momento, ¿cuál sería la conexión con Jasper a la medida que ustedes, conozcan o sepan? ¿Saben si hay alguna conexión con
No lo
Jasper?
sabemos en estos momentos.
No saben.
Así es.
Porque ella no cree que la abuela de parte del padre no esté involucrada. O sea, ella dice que no quiere hablar sobre ella, pero a ustedes les comentó por qué ella entiende que no.
No nos ha dado detalles sobre eso tampoco. Solamente que ella cree que su corazón le dice que, pues, obviamente el amor de su abuela hacia Samuel era sincero.
Johanna, el caso, lo que estamos comentando ahorita, ¿cómo estaba esa relación? Porque ella dice que no lo veía desde mayo
Así es.
2020, creo que ustedes mencionaron ese detalle ayer, y que el niño, y me corrige si estoy equivocado, que fue visto por última vez el 30 de abril. Cuéntame un poco por qué ella no veía al niño desde ese entonces, si ella era la persona que tenía la custodia principal del niño.
Porque el papá de Samuel siempre se encargó todo este tiempo de hacer la situación difícil o más bien imposible para Sarah. No le permitió comunicación ni acceso físico a Samuel.
Pero ella tenía la custodia principal, ¿no?
Así es.
Se supone que fuera al revés, se supone que fuera él, que fuera a visitarlo, que fuera algo compartido, pero que él tenía menos contacto según la decisión de corte.
Sí.
El 30 de abril, él fue visto por última vez en la escuela.
Eso es lo que tenemos entendido.
¿Me lo puede decir en sus palabras?
Okay. La información que se ha proporcionado a nosotros ha sido de que la última fecha que fue visto Samuel fuera del círculo de familia era en la escuela y fue el día 30 de abril.
¿Qué se está esperando para llamarla para identificar el cuerpo?
Pues me imagino que es que las autoridades terminen su investigación.
¿Sabes si el cuerpo de momento, yo sé que es preliminar, sería trasladado a Houston o de momento qué se habla, qué se comenta?
No nos han dado esa información aún.
Eso no se sabe para dónde va a venir el cuerpo.
No.
¿Ella cómo se encuentra? Como que era presente que es su hijo.
Ella sí presiente que es su hijo.
Ella tiene otro niño menor,
Así es.
pero si quiere.
Sí,
No, no se va a comentar.
No, I was just like asking, yeah.
sí, preferimos mantener comunicación estrictamente sobre Samuel.
Sí, también.
Pero cuando dice no comentar, no se sabe que vive está con ella o está la
Es que no es parte del caso, así que no tenemos por qué comentar de eso.
¿Algo más así que piense que nosotros debemos saber sobre este caso?
En este momento, como les volvemos a repetir, estamos muy limitados con la información. La señora Olson no puede comunicarse muy bien con nosotros debido a las circunstancias.
Licenciada, quiero volver un poquito a la corte, el tema de la custodia del niño. Si la corte, no sé si esto estuvo resuelto en corte, la corte se la da a ella, ¿cómo Dalton obstaculiza esto? ¿No se supone que si está violentando una orden judicial, intervengan las autoridades y decir, no, esto no fue lo que se fijó, la custodia la tiene la mamá? ¿Y cómo es posible que no la haya visto prácticamente por un año?
Es una causa civil y desafortunadamente la policía no puede intervenir a esos extremos de ordenar a alguien que entregue a un menor. Es un proceso civil que se tiene que llevar a cabo, cual lo hemos estado manejando, pero ha habido múltiples factores que han intervenido en poder recuperar al menor.
¿Ustedes siempre han sido los abogados de ella, incluso bajo este tema de la custodia?
Solamente de la custodia.
Okay.
¿Y el abuelito o la abuelita del niño vivía aquí en Houston?
No lo sabemos.
Realmente no saben cuál sería la conexión directa con Jasper en todo
No.
este caso.
Gracias.
Gracias.
Gracias, licenciada.